Hello everyone and welcome to Blackout Gaming TV. Today we got a match for you. With me today is CeeJaey. How are you doing today, man?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. We have a match for you. And it's going to be great. Fair enough. And PremTech here on Viaduct Pro. It's going to be an interesting match. There's a lot at stake here. And I think we just gone live.
Yeah, this should be a really close game, I'm reckoning. I mean, I keep saying this, but this is a huge key game to decide who's going to get into the playoffs. PremTech, obviously the favourites, according to the bets on Saloon.tf, but here we are on the first mid. The Kritzkrieg on the hands of Nursey, Medigun in the hands of CeeJaey for fair enough, and it's a pretty passive mid for both teams so far. No one really walking across the point yet, just waiting for that first pick.
Yeah, so far pretty passive for both teams. Neither team has dropped a player yet. There's only been, you know, Deadringer Spy so far that's gone down. Death is on the lock and load. Oh, but Polar takes down Death. Speaking of that, it looks like PremTech is going to be able to take this first mid here. They did lose their medic though.
No, that is key. You keep your med alive, then you're going to be able to hold that point for even longer. The red Uber does come out here. Sorry, just changing my settings. I cannot hear a single thing because the volume is so loud.
Yeah, okay,
but
Tracker
looks
here
like
getting a nice couple of kills here, taking down Clark as well as a few others. Doing a lot of work there, and they have capped the point, so that's good news, you know. Oh, Wildjack eats a pipe there, right to the face.
Well, fair enough, haven't actually capped the point yet. I mean,
Yeah,
30 seconds tick down. They were so close, but it was blocked there by PremTech. So they're whittled off more and more seconds here. Kunai and her medic, CeeJaey, are walking up to the point now. They should be able to cap this if they get some momentum going, but at the moment it's firmly in the hands of PremTech. Yeah. And it looks like we have a pause.
Yeah, looks like we have a pause already with both miniguns going at the same time, so I'm just going to fly back here. Yeah, so far, strong openings. Tracker here, top fragging along with Maito, 8 kills on both teams. Bloodrock haven't really been able to do as much this round. So of course, I guess Nursey's early Kritzkrieg really did pan out because she's back on the medigun right now.
Yeah, he's Nursey's a he, and he's got a 50%.
Yeah, dude. Okay, excuse me. Why did you pick a girl's name if you're a guy? Wait, don't answer that.
There's a 25% advantage in this. So we could go over the rosters, I guess, while we're waiting.
Yeah.
In the blue is PremTech. Got Polar on Spy, Tracker on Sniper playing instead of Saney. Obviously those two share the sniper role for the team. Uber's on Soldier, Cobb's on NG, Nursey on Medic, Maito Demo, Kresnik on Heavy, Atomic on Scout, which is pretty much their standard lineup, except for Ascendery, who's not playing at the moment, whether that's temporary or permanent. We are back on live, so that means Quell is their Merc for Pyro. Back on live now, and the cap still has not gone down for fair enough. And PremTech just holding on behind this point. Lex getting a reflex and killing himself in the process. But it's pretty passive from both teams at the moment. No one really getting aggressive or holding any further ground. Tracker taking down the sniper battle, winning it against Blundrunk, while Ubers takes down Hearts on the soldier battle. And yeah, this is looking really strong for PremTech at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well, holding back, not really overextended. We don't see them taking the enemy battlement. They, of course, could do that, but they're opting not to. This is a very early round here, and only 1 minute 30 seconds left to hold for PremTech right now. Let's see, both teams do have Uber. Oh, headshot on Kresnik there. That's the heavy going down for PremTech. But Drunk eats a rocket and has to get out of there. Uber's exchanged. Looks like Blue's gonna fade first. Let's see, are they?
Yeah, that's really great aggression here, but the sniper comes in. Tracker on a 7 kill streak takes down CeeJaey. Does get killed by Tonmas in the end, but that headshot onto CeeJaey allows the rest of his team to just clean up on the kills. So many people going down on the hands of fair enough. They do get the cap, but there's only 4 players alive, and this means PremTech should be able to recap this now. Bloodrunk goes down again, this time to Polar with the Ambassador headshot, and 2 minutes 45 seconds left to go.
Nice spy checking there by the blue Pyro. Did a pretty good job there. Let's see here. Oh, Hearts farts back on the Beggar's Bazooka. There he was running black box shotgun earlier. Oh, here he comes. Gets a couple of rockets off, but it's not going to be enough here.
Gets the big dispenser pick though. Backstab from Valjak takes down Kresnik. Meanwhile, Polar does the same and takes down Kunal on the other team. Tracker gets another headshot onto Blooddrunk. He's definitely winning that sniper battle at the moment. It just seems that Fair Enough do not have the kind of openings. They're not getting those picks that you're getting in. Like, you either throw all of your bodies forward and try and win via the quicker respawns, or wait to get the picks, and they're not winning the picks at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got 10 seconds to get on this cap. Kunai is on the cliff and they're coming in now. This is last chance to loom for this round.
Yeah, let's see. Uber pop very early for the defenders here. Death very low on that health. Can't really afford to go down and gets taken out by Maito. Uber has been popped, but you don't cap all your invulnerables. So first round there going to PremTech.
Yeah, very strong showing from PremTech. We'll just quickly go over the Fair Enough roster. It's their standard roster, no changes. CeeJaey on Medic, Mint on NG, Kunai on Heavy, Lex on Pyro, Heartsfarts on Soldier, Death on Demo, Tonmas on Scout, Valjak on Spy, and Blooddrunk is on Sniper. Again, very passive mid coming from both teams here. Kritzkrieg on Nursey again, but he goes down to very, very low health, down to 10 HP. Has to totally get out of the fight here, and that's might be the opening for Fair Enough, but they're not moving across the point. They're not taking advantage of that early damage onto the medic, and still no players have gone down. Finally, Tracker goes down. That's the first pick coming out of Valjak there, and Death starts walking across the point, getting damage down. Big jump in from Ubers, takes down this. Wow. So much going on there, GPS. The crits comes in from Maito.
Heartsfarts almost getting the medic again down in the red health. That's the second time he does that. But that was a very well executed crits there, and it took a good while for PremTech to get this point here. So fair enough. They're struggling a bit, but I think they're getting their footing, and they're definitely not out of this yet. They just have to do something about this strong combo here, because Nursey seems to just stay alive.
They're coming in with their medic already. This is a bold move from Fair Enough. This is the aggression we want to see. And the medic goes down already to Kunai. And she's just walking across, does get picked off by the Heavy there. Lex gets a reflect kill onto Ubers. And so many players goes down for PremTech there. They are able to cap this point pretty easily. And they may go ahead in this time stakes now. They did lose CeeJaey, and he's going to be at a disadvantage in the Uber stakes. But that's the aggression we want to see, GPS. We want to see them walking across the point, just going balls deep, just going across and thinking, we can win the DM, just, getting the kills. Blooddrunk gets the snipe onto Tracker, which is good for him. Starting to get back into this sniper versus sniper battle. And PremTech are coming back onto the point now.
Yeah, let's see here. Depth with some lock and load pipes here. Not really getting too much with those. Tracker respawning. Gonna go and take the high ground here. Let's see what he finds. He's looking, well, it's not a lot of him to shoot really. Heartsfarts on the left here. Now they also got Kresnik up here. Oh, but what happened to Nursey there? That was a crater, I think.
Yeah, it got hit there by Death. Death just rocking the locker load and just destroying everybody. Gets about 3 or 4 kills there, but in the process also, oh wow, cheeky from Kresnik. What a play. Manages to force the quick fix and just caps the point with this fist of steel. Yeah. Gets a few seconds, not many, but Fair Enough are about 30 seconds ahead in the time now. And this is starting to look much more positive for Fair Enough.
Yeah, fair enough. They've gotten their footing. They're definitely not out of it yet. They're being a bit aggressive here, but now they lost 3 players here. Atomic is about to go down. He barely stays alive there, and well, they're up against it's going to be Quick Fix versus Kritzkrieg here fairly soon. And Tracker just took down Kunai once again, so that's no heavy for Fair Enough. Oh, dangerously close to the demo there. Doesn't get the kill.
I'm waiting to see what Fair Enough are going to do here, because they cannot win in a Quick Fix versus Crits battle. They either need to get in and force the medic with some suicides, or they needed to go in about 15-20 seconds ago when there was still no Ubers for either times. But the jump comes in on the Quick Fix. They're getting really aggressive, but they're just going to counter crits it. Surely it's onto Maito. He does take down so many people.
Yeah.
And then it's just flashed onto Kresnik, who finishes off a couple more. It's exactly what I'm talking about, GPS. I mean, you should know what you're running against when you're playing on a map like this. You're constantly checking the medigun. If they knew they were playing against crits, why would you get that aggressive with the quick fix? I don't know.
Well, they kind of had to, either you stay and die to the Kritzkrieg, or you attack and die to the Kritzkrieg. It's kind of like the options you have. I like what they were trying to do, but I guess they weren't as coordinated enough. What they tried to do is get Heartsfarts and the medic to jump together and jump on the Kritzkrieg medic there. Heartsfarts, I think he got the sniper and the dispenser, and that was all he got before he got killed. Oh, but the medic's exposed! Oh, cheeky little sandwich throw savior there by Kunai, keeping the medic alive there. CeeJaey not dying, and finally recapping the point here, and looking to take the lead for the first time this game. Fair enough.
That's what I like to see. I mean, they're just walking across the point, getting aggressive. They're getting an aggressive hold now. Kunai, Lex, and Death are all on this cliff area, and they're just stopping PremTech from even getting out of their first area spawn. They did manage to take down Death. That was Maito, which is a big pick. He's not going to be up for another
nice
10 seconds. Yeah.
They can definitely rebound from this. They just gotta. Well, I said watch out for Hearts Farts, but Atomic did take him out with a long distance scatter shot to the gut. And now they can just bide their time and go to crit spree again. They can even start pushing and then rebound off the first push with the crit spree as soon as they have reloaded. But they're looking to just soft push the point. There's not a whole lot that can stop them really, so let's see what they decide to do. I'm guessing Hearts Farts is going to try and bomb the medic like he's been trying to do all game long. So let's see here, where is he? He's going to be coming pretty... Ah, there he is. He's getting into position. Well, he's not going to attack anytime soon, so let's see. Wait, never mind, here he comes! Oh, that's a drop!
Wow. That is a drop indeed.
Oh,
he says hi in the chat. That is a... Wow. Kresnik then gets backstabbed there, and there's going to be no resistance for the point now.
Yeah. That's what
Nessie saying... Nessie is saying in chat, lock and load and beg is obviously two weapons doesn't have to deal with in UGC North America. But welcome to men's Highlander.
You know what
I mean, it's a huge pick, pick.
Oh, Hearts Farts. Oh, gets the medic again. It's like, doesn't matter what you run. Crit screen, quick fix, you're gonna die regardless. You know, Hearts Farts, this is what I love to see. He's like the beggar's bazooka master. I don't think I've seen anyone that runs it as well as he does. He just goes for the medic and that's all he does, right?
Look at Cobbs! Oh, he had revenge crits on his Frontier Justice, ran across, managed to hit the medic and tried to pistol him down, but the sandwich throw from Kunai keeps CeeJaey alive. PremTech are just getting, walking in now, and they managed to get so many frags. And this is to just take the point now. They've got 38 seconds to go. Kunai gets headshot. Blood Drunk goes down as well. And this is in the hands of PremTech now. They've got an uber disadvantage, but if they play this correctly, they're running the quick fix. They can block this point and still win this round. Pressure is definitely on CeeJaey's only running medigun. It's going to be a while until he gets his uber. 20 seconds left on the clock, and they need to start moving now.
Well, let's see what they decide. They're biding their time. They're up against, well, they're defending are using a quick fix here. Here comes Hearts Farts. Oh, no, mini-sentry. That's going to stop all the fun he has, and he gets taken out. So, Uber coming in. Keep in mind, you can't cap while you're Ubered. Alright, they got the scout on there as well. This is starting to look up for fair enough here.
They need to stand on the point, otherwise Kresnik, it's all up to him. 4 HP goes down, and the double overtime round goes to fair enough. And that was a risky play at the end there. They kind of chucked all their eggs in one basket, counting on that Uber to work, but it did work very well against the quick fix. And we're on to the third round now, tied at 1-1.
We finally have a game here. Score's pretty even. These teams are very evenly matched here. Hearts Farts with a very strong opening here. It's going to run into a Pyro. That's going to surf across. Oh, he could potentially have picked off the sniper there, but Blood Drum took care of that anyway. Oh, and he gets taken out. So let's take a look at the rest of the match here.
Nice, he goes down to the lock and load. Death is just shooting those lock and load pipes over. Big jumping from Ubers, but doesn't manage to kill CeeJaey. He goes down to about 35 HP, but this mid has gone to fair enough, and once again they're getting an aggressive hold. Kunai, Death and CeeJaey all getting onto this cliff area, just trying to block PremTech from even getting out of this right hand side.
Oh, they're up top too. They're getting aggressive here. Oh, Hearts.
Big jump in from Hearts. Oh, gets destroyed there.
You can just feel the adrenaline pumping every time he just makes a jump there. And here comes the Uber here, and yeah, well, Nercy doesn't have a response to this and gets taken out. And oh, is Kresnik gonna get taken out? Yes, cleaned up by Thomas there.
Yeah, but CeeJaey goes down as well. That was poor from Fair Enough. They dropped so many players. They had the Uber and they dropped their heavy. They dropped their demo, and the only person left alive was the scout to finish off Nercy. But in the meantime, you lose your entire team. You end up losing the point, and Ubers are going to be equal. And PremTech are now going to defend this point.
Yeah, so let's see. Both teams still on the regular medigun. No shenanigans there. Let's see. Oh, Hearts gets taken out by Tracker. And let's see what Nercy decides to do with this, knowing that the crazy Bomberman is out of commission for now. I mean, they are holding the point. They're holding pretty far back. Lock and roll just kind of soaring right above their heads. Oh. Looks like fair enough. It's just waiting for that opening. I mean, neither team has gotten a pick. They're pretty even. We have, oh, well, sniper advantage for PremTech, so that's...
Big jump in from Heartsy. He's gone right behind, but then gets taken out there from Cobbs. Well placed in mini sentries, but Nursey goes down to Tonmas. Huge plays from the scout there from Fair Enough. Just runs in and meat shots Nursey down. And yeah, PremTech are in a position now where they
play that game. Oh well, he does not opening them. Oh, needs to be careful.
CeeJaey has an Uber, and it's whether or not he's going to use it to cap this point. Does use it. It's probably going to get kills there onto Kresnik, but not many kills coming out. Actually, sorry, a few kills coming out there. But Nursey is alive, and now once again it's just exchanging hands. Ubers are pretty much equal. CeeJaey with a small advantage.
Yeah,
jump in from Ubers this time. Can't get anything onto the medic.
Well, he's pretty weak too. He needs to get back there and get some health, and he'll jump right back in there. Let's see. Hearts first, just respawning. Here's C on that regular medigun. CeeJaey on that regular medigun. No deviations so far.
This is what PremTech are doing that Fair Enough aren't doing. Oh, CeeJaey gets juggled into the air. He's so weak, down to 20 HP. Does stay alive somehow, and meanwhile PremTech are losing their players all over the place. Mighty, Kresnik, Atomic all going down. And Fair Enough just playing this very passive play behind the point, managing to keep it. I was going to say that PremTech are doing really well just to force themselves onto the point when there's no Ubers in play, but now Ubers are in play. CeeJaey's got 100%. Nursey only at 85, coming in through main now. He's got to be careful, doesn't die here early on before the Uber is used.
Mike with the Frontier soaking up a lot of damage. We're having an Uber exchange. Looks like PremTech is going to come out on top of that one. Maito here getting a nice couple. Oh, Quill getting taken out by Hearts Farts there as well. Maito still alive. Oh, but he walks right into the trap placed earlier there by Death. So that was pretty well placed there by him. And it looks like fair enough. They're stabilizing. They're starting to pull ahead.
Yeah, Hearts Farts there getting the kill onto Nursey. Death following up with the kill onto Kresnik. They did lose a lot of players, and PremTech obviously with the spawn advantage, but in the end got the key picks. But PremTech are going to walk across this point. Big jump in from Ubers. He's on the medic. Can he take him down? Oh, manages somehow. CeeJaey so slippery. He's getting away. Survives on 30 HP. Keeps his 65% Uber intact. PremTech have taken this point, but no bigger picks going down on Fair Enough. And that's the key thing in how they're going to have Uber in about 10 seconds. Nursey is nowhere near to it.
Tracker took a headshot there from Blood Drunk. I'm going to force him out of position. Didn't kill him though, he's still alive, so neither team has a sniper advantage. Uber coming in here for Fair Enough. That lock and load. So it's like you don't even need a third clip. Still doesn't manage to get the kill though. Kresnik still stays up there, does a lot of chip damage. Gonna bully them out of there, and gonna stay. Let's still have their ooh, what? Hearts first killing Maito there with the Beggar's Bazooka as he ran into Kresnik there. Kresnik is all alone. He's
just so good at using the overload jump. He soars, and people don't see him in the air. That's the thing, GPS. He's jumping over people, and people aren't aware because of the height and the speed that he gets when he does the jump. And so when he's behind and he uses those sort of triple rockets onto people, they have no chance of surviving. Big picks from him. 10 seconds left on the clock for Fair Enough. People are getting aggressive here. Maito jumps in, only takes down the sentry gun. And PremTech need to get on this point. There's stickies all over it. The Uber is forced onto CeeJaey. And all they need to do is keep their players alive. They're getting the kills. And they take a lead in this game, 2-1. 1 round away from winning this map, which, if they win this map, I think is pretty key to their playoff hopes, winning a map tonight. Yeah. If they lose, they have the final game against Highlander, but I think even at that point, it may be out of reach for them. Statistically, but yeah, here coming into this final, or possibly final round, 2-1 to Fair Enough at the moment, and once again we're seeing these passive mids from both teams staying behind their respective areas, waiting for a pick. Maito just taking down the situation, but Kunai goes down to Tracker, and that's the early pick, and that should be the key there. Hearts Farts jumps in into the medic, gets a rocket.
Medic was even in milk too, so he got off an additional rocket, but it wasn't enough. You know, the Burgers Bazooka is good, but it's not very accurate. So as long as Nursey can keep surfing those rockets and stay out of close to mid-range, should be pretty good. So here at a full Uber, CeeJaey hasn't been building as well, so he's just finishing up Uber as well. PremTech did take the point first, so that's a good opener for them. So
yeah, they're 100%. Both teams running
here he comes.
Medigun.
Oh, I think they're. Oh wait, what is this?
He lands on the medic. Oh, that's a good
nice.
force.
Yeah. absolutely.
That was
worth it.
great reactions there by Nursey. Absolutely amazing reactions from the medic. But the frags are coming in favor of Fair Enough. Death picking up a couple there. And it looks like they're going to take this point. Kresnik is desperately trying to block it or do something. Can't get the kill. Gets taken down by Lex, who is on the chase. But Nursey is somehow going to get out, as is Maito. But no, he doesn't. Gets gunned down by the lock and load. But Nursey survived. We'll keep Ubers somehow equal.
Oh, look at this trap. Look at this trap. It didn't detonate. And 3 people ran past. Oh, that's unfortunate death. And then he got killed. Yeah, that's unfortunate, losing their demo there. And wow, look at the amount of players dead for Fair Enough here.
Yeah, they're getting picks, and PremTech have the kind of the goal to just walk onto the point and say, it doesn't matter, we haven't got Uber, we're capping. A big jump in from Hearts and takes down Nursey again with the Beggar's Bazooka. Nobody can see where he is, GPS. Nobody can see where he is.
Dude, I can't even see what happened. I just see the remains of Nursey just all over the point. He's too fast, man. He's too fast.
Uber is used out of Fair Enough here. They're going to walk across the point. And they're probably going to take this cap now for pretty much for free. Well, not for free. The Ubers are equal again because CeeJaey did use that. I'm not sure if he had to use that there. But even Nursey is saying in the chat, I can't do anything about it. Saying he cannot do anything against these bombs from Hearts using the Beggar's Bazooka. Yeah. PremTech, this is what I love. This is what I love from PremTech. They just get in the aggression. They're just walking onto the point, and Fair Enough just aren't playing with the aggressive hold anymore. They're just standing behind the point, and it's allowing PremTech to cap the point for free.
Yeah.
Kunai goes down, Hearts has gone down, and you know, you're giving them free cap time at the moment.
Just trying to see what PremTech can do about this, because it seems like they're starting to lose more and more each round. It seems like they're, as Hearts warms up and gets more and more comfortable with his bombs, it seems like they're really struggling to deal with it. So let's see here, Uber coming in, exchanged. Let's see who comes out on top. I think it's going to be, well, PremTech has a good rebound option here because they simply have more players alive here. Let's see if they can do, oh, CeeJaey taking down with the Revengineer crits.
Great play by Cobbs, for me one of the NGs so far of the season. And he's running those revenge crits, and he almost got CeeJaey and manages to get him this time. His mini picks up a couple more, which just means more revenge crits for his Frontier Justice. Tracker then gets another headshot onto Blooddrunk. It's a great sniper battle between these two so far in this game. But the cap is in the hands of PremTech. The Uber advantage is in the hands of PremTech. We're going to need to see a big play here from one of Fair Enough's players to get a pick or something.
I wonder who that's going to be.
We know who they're going to rely on, and here comes Hearts. Big jump in from Death as well. They both come in at the same time, and there's nothing Nursey can do.
Oh, dude! Ouch! Ow!
There is nothing Nursey can do. Faced against a jumping demo with the lock and load and the Beggar's Bazooka from the Soldier, there is nothing you can do. You need people watching the skies non-stop, and that's just not viable at the moment. They still have the cap though. But they do have handed the Uber advantage to the hand of Fair Enough, who are at 80% at the moment. CeeJaey is coming through main already with Kunai and the rest of his team. PremTech might put up a chance here to try and at least force the Uber and make Fair Enough use the Uber to get the point. And they do.
Loads. Oh, well, they did get a lot of ground though, but oh, Cobb's here. He's doing work with the revenge crits.
Amazing play by Cobbs.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's like, you know, the unspoken MVP of his team, getting those nice clicks here. Uber's coming in, realizes he's not Hearts and has to make out of there. But yeah, a lot of
but Fair Enough lost. Yeah, Fair Enough lost so many players in that Uber push. I think they maybe overextended a bit too much trying to chase the medic. They didn't need to do that. They just needed to use that Uber and chip off the time. And instead, all they've done is cap the point and then released it pretty much straight away. 15 seconds left on the clock for PremTech. They have a huge, well, they have 100% Uber on the point, 50% over CeeJaey. She's not going to get it in time to push in the next 5 seconds. So they need to do something huge here from one of their players. They need to get somebody on the point in the next 2 seconds, otherwise the round is going to be over. Coil doing a great job. Uber's used onto him. He's just pushing him off the point. And the second round for PremTech means we are tied here 2-2. And this final round will decide who takes a viaduct and the full 3 points.
Yeah, and this could go to either team here. It's extremely even, I have to say, looking at the frags. Slightly favoring Fair Enough, just a bit, but nothing too major there. I mean, we are up 2-2.
Aggressive mid hit from Fair Enough. They're already on the point. They're walking across. And this is what we haven't seen at all so far. But oh, loads of players going down. This is why we didn't see it. CeeJaey goes down to CeeJaey goes down there to Polar from the Ambassador. They do get kills onto PremTech here, but only 2 left alive for Fair Enough. And maybe they're, I don't know, changing the strats there, thinking having lost that last round, they wanted to do something that's slightly different.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out so well for them. And 100% Uber in the hands of Nercy. He's going to try and stay calmly behind the point.
And does that 100% Uber. And Hearts is in the air. 1, 2.
Hearts, here he comes.
Dropped! Dropping it like it's hot. Ow. Ouch.
I feel for Nercy, I really do. There is nothing Nercy can do. Once that soldier is in your face with the beggars, that is it. And Nercy has not dropped. I think he dropped 2 Ubers so far this season.
Yeah,
in 6 weeks. And so far today, I think it's doubled that.
Yeah.
Uber advantage in the hand of CeeJaey now, still rocking that medigun, has not changed it around much this game.
What I really like that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You carry on.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, like, Heart's playstyle is really forcing the enemy team's playstyle, because he's in the air and he gets the medic again! Yeah, you know, speak of the devil. He is forcing their hand so much because he's targeting the medic and they seem to be unable to stop him. Like, classes that can stop him is the Pyro and the Heavy and the level 3 Sentry. That's like what you can do. But as long as Nercy keeps staying in that little ditch around that area, he's just going to continue bombing because there's nothing stopping him. And if you're going to spend time looking in the air for him, you're not going to see the people on the ground, and it's just going to hurt you, so you're just like constantly losing. And Nercy here had enough of the shenanigans and decides to rocket jump himself, because that could actually work, you know, as Hearts jumps in, you jump out, that could work.
CeeJaey does go down though, while you were talking, sorry to interrupt, but CeeJay's gone down, respawns now, and Nercy's got a 50% quick fix advantage, and PremTech are capping this point with well over...
just punches Wildjack there with the Fist of Steel. That's really fun.
It's a minute advantage here in the time. PremTech only got 1 minute 30 to chip off the time until they can win this round. So looking very comfortable at the moment, PremTech, but fair enough. As we know, with Hearts Farts, it seems to just... Hearts is just doing so much work, and I'm going to talk about him in between the maps a little bit more, but we're going to see some plays from him if fair enough are going to end up winning this map.
We got Death there in the front. Oh, look at that! He has the lock and load! Donk! Nercy died from death from the lock and load. Oh wow! I can just tell the taste, you know, the saltiness and the vinegar coming from Nercy having to deal with lock and load and Beggar's Bazooka. This
could be the game. This could be the game that means Nercy will not come back to ETF2L and will stick to NAUGC. The 2 unlocks that aren't allowed, and they're just being used to such effectiveness, and maybe that's why PremTech are struggling with it. Nercy and Kresnik playing in North America, maybe not really used, but CeeJaey
Polar and Quell, though, they did an amazing job working together, taking down CeeJaey there.
Polar finally goes down there. He was on a 7 kill streak. Cobb's winning the NG battle, using his revenge crits, takes down Mint. And yeah, this is looking very dangerous. Again, 20 seconds left on the clock here for PremTech. They have 80% advantage over CeeJaey, who isn't even healing yet. And PremTech need to get, fair enough, need to get onto the point now. They're walking up to the point with their combo, but Hearts has gone down again to the scout.
Crits coming out.
And the crits comes out, and yeah, this is pretty much game over. PremTech are gonna take, they're gonna take the first map, 3-2.
So even though
to put a point of reference, GPS, there was bets obviously on Saloon.tf for this game. But it's the spread betting that Cherry has applied to this game, seeing as fair enough the underdogs, and the betting was so heavily implied that it was going to be put on to PremTech that if fair enough take a map in this exchange, then fair enough will win the bet, so to speak. Okay. So if you put a bet onto fair enough and they were to win Sunshine, even though the game is a tie between, you know, 1 map apiece, fair enough will win. People who bet on fair enough will win the bet instead.
And then you get tons of stuff, right?
Tons of stuff.
Yeah,
tons
and then
of
you use that
items
stuff to get even more stuff.
Yes.
And then you
can
use
also
that
bet
stuff to get even more stuff, right? After that. And then you just continue until you have all the stuff.
The world revolves around stuff, GPS.
Yeah. And you just
it really does.
Like you lay upon your big pile of stuff, and then you know what happiness is.
Just looking at the logs now, the top frag of that game was actually Tracker. did a lot of work, 37 headshots, 35 kills, followed by Death, who I think is probably one of my picks for demo of the season so far. Really, really kind of underrated, I feel, and has done so much work. Gets 33 frags. But Cobbs there. Cobbs is, I want to talk about Cobbs GPS. I know you want to talk about Hearts, but I just want to mention Cobbs.
No, I want to talk about Hearts. He talks for himself. Sorry, go ahead.
For me, Cobbs is, I think he finished second or third in NG of the season last season. Pretty sure it was second. He's a really good NG, but he's just gone 32 to 9.
Wow. Oh.
32 kills, 9 deaths with 21 assists. He doesn't die much, and he was, he's been talking to me. Kind of, it was between us. We came up with the idea about the Prem stat spreadsheet, which I've been updating week on week. And each time he speaks to me, he says, "Have you updated my stats? Like, can you see how often I die?" Which is not often enough at all. The joke was made that it's because he's French and he's always running away from the fights.
Yeah.
But in reality, I mean, 32 frags, which is third highest in the game. He did a lot of work, I think, denying Hearts' bombs there. Did very well. Kresnik going 28 kills, and then Mitre with 24. So a lot of PremTech presence on the top of the board. Hearts going 20 to 41. So I think that's what I wanted to talk about Hearts. In that he's doing, like, I want to see, hang on, 1 second. Just scrolling down, he got 7 med picks that game.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think PremTech just accounted for that. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna make, like, our medic's gonna die. We can't rely on our medic pushes, so we're gonna have to play differently. And,
absolutely.
And they did, like, Nursey kept dying. It's like, well, if we keep killing our medic, we're just gonna do other stuff that might catch you off guard. Because a lot of teams, usually when they lose their medic, they kind of become like scared and they become really, really passive. And people kind of expect that, but if you go really aggressive when you lose your medic, like you just attack anyway, it's going to catch people off guard because people are going to be reloading, like their timing is going to be off, and it can just really, really work out, I think.
I'm just sending you a different connect. It looks like we're switching servers for the second map, I've been told.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And we spoke in the last cast that I did. It was between Chess Club and Fair Enough, and kind of we spoke to in the post game like how effective Hearts was on Badwater. He jumps in, he manages to get those med picks. He's got more med picks than any other player so far this season. In Prem, and you can see why. But in doing so, when your team revolves around that play quite a lot, there's so much pressure on Hearts to do it. But also, it becomes expected from the other team. And Breakfast Jr., I remember saying, he said, as a team, we know how Fair Enough are going to play. We know that Hearts is going to come in with these bombs. And then you just adapt around that.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what we're seeing on the logs there. And, Hearts going 20 to 41, he dies a lot. Because even though he does take down the medic, he's dying every single time.
Yeah.
Which means you're losing a player. You're essentially trading 1 for 1.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
in comparison, you've got Ubers went 20 to 19. Same amount of kills, but over half the deaths, which means he's getting more damage, he's getting more presence. That's another body on the point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of trading that effectiveness of the Beggar's Bazooka in for, the ability, the fact that you're going to have a player down a lot of the time.
Yeah. Because, like, in Highlander, like, killing the medic isn't alpha omega. There's 8 other classes that can do really, really well. Snipers and spies also can really make up for a med pick if they get like the right picks. So it doesn't make or break a team. Of course, though, it's good to have to drop the other medic all the time. But if the other team plays in a way that your medic doesn't, like, you can't capitalize on your own team's medic and Ubers, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah, and the few times we did see aggression coming out of Fair Enough, either it worked very, very well because PremTech weren't expecting it,
Yeah.
or when they did it, it just fell apart, like we saw on that last mid, which pretty much set them up for the defeat there. Whether or not they'd not practiced, I mean, it was very passive from both teams at mid. But even when they had the point, either Fair Enough were on their cliff with this aggressive hold, or they were all the way behind their own point. There was never the kind of this in-between stage that we saw with PremTech. And even though PremTech gave up the point a few times, due to the pressure from Fair Enough, they managed to take a few players with them, which meant, you know, when they were able to repush, they had a number advantage. So, I mean, this is a totally different kettle of fish, though. This is Sunshine. This is a 5CP map. Again, very DM-based, but a totally different strategy. Well, how much do you know about this map?
I know it's sunny. That's why it's called Sunshine. Where is the sunshine? There it is. There's the sun. I actually haven't played this map, but I've seen enough of it. I've mostly seen sixes of this map, and I've seen some Moments of Glory and some other frag videos and stuff like that happening on this map. And I do think I've seen casts of it in Highlander before. But I haven't played enough of this map to like really make an assessment. But so far, I like it. It seems to have a bit for every class. So I'm really looking forward to see how it will play off here. Doesn't really seem to have a lot of long sight lines, and it seems to be pretty open.
There is a sight line. There are some long sight lines at midpoint. I mean, from this area, which is either called.
There's going to be on midpoint, but I mean, otherwise, like there's areas that's inside, and I think like there's a lot of open areas here, so we are going to be seeing a lot of bombs. And I think Hearts is just going to keep doing what he does, and that is to use the Beggar's Bazooka and jump on the medic. The only question here is if he's going to be able to get out alive after he's killed the medic. That's like the question. So yeah, what do you think of this map?
Actually, I mean, at the start, I mean, you look back 3-4 months, I don't think many people have even heard of this map, let alone played it. But anyone who's played UGC would have played it in 6v6 and in Highlander over the past seasons. They would have played it in ETF2L 6v6 during Season 20. There was also the experimental Highlander Cup, which used this as a map. My team won the high bracket. So I'm
hold on, CeeJaey. I'm just gonna write that in my book of CeeJaey's victories. Hold on.
Thanks.
All right,
thanks.
Okay, I did.
I need it logged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, people have had lots and lots of chance to play this map. You know, in sixes, in Highlander, the experimental Highlander Cup took it as a bit of a success. There was a lot of positive feedback on the map, so it was included in the rotation for this season. And I think so far I haven't really heard anyone say they absolutely hate it. There's a lot of people saying that they want Gully Wash back, which is understandable, but I don't think it's because this is a bad map. There are some sight lines at mid, which a lot of people don't like. If you come from this area, it's called Valley or Flowers. You can see right across to the other end, the opposition's area, and it's a very long sight line. And again, from mid, if you come in through this choke area, standing, there is a sight line straight through over to the other choke. But I mean, the layout of the map is pretty nice. It's got a spire kind of on second, what's known as the lighthouse.
Yeah, why
the
does
final
the
area,
red lighthouse have light in it? Why does only the blue one?
You'd have to ask the map mate.
Yeah, dude, sorry. It's like, what does this have to do? This is stupid.
But one big change though, GPS, one big change, if you've not played on this map before, or you know, if you're not fully aware of it, is this last area. If you come to the last point, the right hand side as you're looking from the defense has changed significantly since, well, 2-3 weeks ago. Most of the map is pretty much the same. This central area on the last point has kind of changed. It's a bit thinner, it's a bit lower down, but this right hand area looking at the defense has now got these crates, these barrels. It's got kind of this little area kind of which is like a separate room with a door. It's very, very different. It makes it different to push into, it makes it different to defend as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams play with, you know, the way this area is set up, whether we'll see more pushes or less pushes from this side.
I just wonder on the defensive if you can actually stand on these ledges up here, if it's like invisible wall blocked off. Because if you can get a sentry up there, man, that's going to be tough to deal with.
No, I don't think you can actually go up there.
Yeah, I wonder if like the soldiers and demos can get up there, but I don't think they can.
There's the area on the middle point, on the last point, sorry. There is an area where you can stand on as soldier. Kind of little boardwalk area. That used to be higher, which meant it was much easily like a really good holding point for the soldier on attack or defense, depending on, you know, who got up there. But it's made a bit lower now, so I think that kind of balances that out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I honestly think Fair Enough had a really good chance on that map, on Viaduct, to take the win. Morally, like, their morale, they may be pretty gutted that they didn't get a win there.
Yeah.
Because remember, with King of the Hill, you don't get any points for losing a close game, unless you can go to a golden cap and, you know, at least pick up a point or 2 points or whatever. But yeah, this is a totally different kind of game. I think Ubers and Atomic on the flank have been so successful this season, like statistically, but also the way they play together, and the fact that they won Prem last season with Chess Club makes their coordination very, very good on the flank. I have got an update from the other game, GPS, if you want to know.
Yeah, what's up?
Apparently Chess Club are drawing 1-1 with Wasp, and they are defending their last point.
Oh.
And there is not long to go on Sunshine.
Alright.
So we could see either dropped points or even a loss for Chess Club against
really?
Wasp. Yeah, I mean, big surprise, but Wasp do have Shadowburn on Soldier as a default merc. So, you know, Morg has been one of the best snipers, I think, in Prem this season. He seems to have a knack for killing a lot of people.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Believe it or not. And yeah, and Wasp also have taken points off Highlander, and they've taken points off of well, a lot of people. I mean, they're not looking weak. Apparently Chess are now on mid, so the game is ever changing, but so far it's
changing.
not a roll. It's changing. That's what happens,
Yeah.
GPS. This is why I love this game. It changes.
Evolve so much it turns into different game mode. So I'm trying to get a word on exactly what's going on. They're apparently changing servers again, from what I'm being told, or not. I'm not sure.
How sorry, not how. Who do you see as being a strong point? Who do you think is going to make the difference in this game? We mentioned about Hearts kind of coming in with those bombs and wrecking things with the Beggar's Bazooka, but do you see anyone else who could sort of make a difference in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the demos on both teams is going to do well, because usually when there's a new map that people aren't really as familiar with as you are with other maps, I think usually demos and snipers are usually the classes that tends to do really well on a map that that people haven't like really gotten in the groove yet. So I think it's going to be those classes that are key. Other than that, I'm hoping to see some great spy picks, some spies taking advantage of stuff, and I want to see Cobbs go on a massive revenge crit spree. That's what I'm hoping, because that's fun for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One thing I want to see is how Kresnik plays on this map. Kresnik plays this kind of roaming heavy kind of strategy. I remember my plays of playing in North American UGC. There was a couple of players I played against that kind of had this roaming heavy strat where they wouldn't get much heals, which meant more heals for their demo, and they would pop up in areas where you wouldn't expect them to be, and that's been sort of shown in the stats, with Kresnik being the heavy that gets the least amount of average heals per game. So obviously a lot of those heals go on to the rest of the combo.
Yeah.
But I'm interested on 5CP, like how is he going to run it? Is he going to stick closer to the combo for the pushes, or is he kind of going to be, I don't know, I want to see what he does. It'll be interesting, because Kunai is very much your just, you know, there's no kind of roaming from her usually. She stays alive very, very well, protects her medic very well, so you know, it's two very, very different styles coming up against each other. So it'll be interesting to see how they clash. People are saying that Wasp have beaten Chess Club 2-1 on Sunshine. I am going to be proper salty for the next few minutes, because I placed a Bud on Chess Club to win, and I'm waving.
Don't worry, CeeJaey. Buds aren't real currency.
They're not real currency anymore, but still, that is surprising. So, I mean, that's a boost, GPS. That is a boost for Fair Enough, because basically in the playoff race, Fair Enough, if they can pick something out of this game, be great. Otherwise, it all rests on their final game against Highlander. But in the same vein, Chess Club have to play PremTech in their final game, which could mean if PremTech go on to do Fair Enough a favour in that game and beat Chess Club, the way it's going at the moment, if Wasp finish the way they are or even pick up more points, we could see the champions not reaching the playoffs. you know, it's all sorts of permutations between the top four on who could go through, and this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it looks like we are switching servers again, I think. So we're gonna have to wait and stand by for that new Source TV, because I guess ping and stuff matters to a lot of people. So you want to find the server that has the correct ping. So,
I will send it to you.
oh, you're getting it? Excellent.
I have my contacts.
Yeah, you have your contacts, your friends. I know where you get your wealth from, Lord of Coin. Oh, I mean Lord of Buds, I guess.
Not Lord of Buds anymore, thanks to Wasp.
Oh, stupid Wasp. It's a fixed game,
It's
yo.
I'm part of me is happy though. Simply because at the start of the season we had the preseason chat show where we talked about the teams. A lot of the emphasis was on Highlander, Chess Club, and PremTech, and which one of those three would, you know, end up victorious. Talk was made about Fair Enough and whether they would have kind of the ability to reach the playoff this season and would they have a chance at the title. I'm happy for them. They're doing really well so far this season and they're still in with a shout of reaching the playoffs. And then there was talk about the other teams and, you know, the newer teams, new teams to Prem, Wasp, Unpoppable and Loads of Money weren't given much hope at all. Those teams have been taking points off of each other. Unpoppable picked up a map against Stacked during the week. Wasp have taken points off Highlander, and a lot of people laughed at Highlander for that. But, you know, they shouldn't because Wasp have obviously got the knack for it and taken off a map from the defending champions. That's nothing to be sniffed at.
Yeah, the thing is, even though, like, let's say you're like a top of Prem, you're like the best team ever, even if, like, if you just practice hard enough and you focus and you learn from your mistakes, because that's like the most important part of learning from your mistake and improving, no one is unbeatable. You can beat them because everyone has their weakness and it's just a matter of, one, finding their weakness, and two, being able to, you know, take advantage of their weakness. Like, it doesn't help, like, oh yeah, I know their medic is weak after they do this kind of push. And it's like, yeah, can you hurt the medic during that time? It's like, no. Well, then you gotta learn how to do that somehow. So I think that's what Wasp's doing, and it looks like we are going live. So I'm gonna be watching Maito's cam on this rollout here. We have Fair Enough in the blue and PremTech in the red. Switcheroo from last game around.
Yeah, going to be rollout, seeing which way the demos roll out. Maito comes in through choke, and he's pretty fast actually. Death comes in through the valley area, and he's already getting really aggressive towards the middle. Blood Drunk with a snipe onto Polar takes him down straight away, so no Spy to contend with. And again, we're kind of seeing this passive mid. CeeJaey goes down to Maito already. What happened, GPS? What the hell happened there?
It was bombs that happened, I think. Oh, Clark here gets taken out by Cobbs, and now... Oh, Cobbs is actually on the regular shotgun this time around. I guess that's just an opener for the time being, and looks like PremTech here is taking the first mid quite convincingly. They are moving forward here, chasing down Mint here. They just forced back here. Blood Drunk not really in a position to shoot anyone, and he gets bullied out of there. Both teams on regular Uber. Nercy just spending theirs, so getting to take.
It's a bit of a wasted Uber in my mind. I mean, there was nobody defending second. They could have taken it for free, saved that Uber for last, and had a good crack at pushing last Uber versus non-Uber. But they used it. I'm not sure if Nercy saw a sniper or anything causing the pop. But now Uber's pretty much equal. Small advantage in the hands of CeeJaey. But PremTech have this second point, and to quote one of my teammates this season, it's a 5 CP map in Highlander. And you don't do anything silly, you don't make mistakes, because, you know, rounds can go, it can go 1-0, we could see a 1-0 here, a 1-1, something like that. You just bide your time, wait for the picks, and play the game safely. You don't get too aggressive, probably unlike what we've seen so far in Viaduct. But Uber now in the hands of CeeJaey, 80% on Nercy, and we're just seeing this kind of stalemate now, where PremTech just waiting for a pick or something to happen. Polar getting lock and loaded there, so be a few more seconds before he has a chance.
He was dead ringing, so he tricked everyone, including you.
Well, I mean, what I mean is he's delaying him for a few more seconds before he can make anything happen. Yes.
So now we have a stalemate situation here where neither team has an advantage, which means both teams can attack if they want, but neither team, like with the current meta, nobody's really comfortable of doing that because they're too afraid of a backlash. which is really understandable because if you mess up, the other team's going to counter whatever you're doing and get the point, and it's especially dangerous if you're on the defending team. So we all have like them hurdled together here with a small kind of death ball thing going on. And oh, Polar fakes his death once again, so no one has really died yet. We have a scout at the bottom, and I think like you just need to attack when you're attacking, right? They're on the last point, they're just defending. Like suicide in your engineer maybe, get him to build a level 3, bring that in with an Uber, I don't know, do something to put off the enemy team here.
Well, really kind of, you don't want to lose players in that position. You don't want Atomic killing Blood Drunk in inverted commas. There's actually the spy dead ringing. But Tracker gets the snipe, who's only onto the spy though. But this is what PremTech want. They just kind of edged into the lobby now. They've got a bit more ground. Now they've got more room for Tracker to be able to get in and get a snipe onto someone important. Uber's used very early, comes in and the exchange onto the point. Nursey is going to escape there, but Cobbs gets taken down, so does his sentry. And PremTech losing a few players here, including Maito and Tracker.
Yeah.
Now Kresnik is the only one in lobby.
Yeah, now they need to just move out. Fair enough. They can absolutely do this. Kresnik, yeah, gets taken out. That's a huge pick. Gotta be careful, though. Soldier Ubers gets taken out. They stay alive, and they just gotta retake this point and be really, really quick about it. But they're delaying a little bit. You gotta watch out for Polar. He's still around. And it seems
Just
like
look at Atomic, look at Atomic. He's going to last. This is Mini watching last. He gets a little bit of cap time and then gets scared, runs away, gets taken down to 20 HP there, but he sneakily walked past the combo and then went underneath and tried to have a crack at last point there, but the engineer Mint was carefully watching with his mini sentry. But like you said, fair enough, if they wanted to take the point, they needed to be quick about it, and they hesitated. He who hesitates is lost, and they did not manage to even get out of the balcony area. So we're back to where we were, 100% Uber on both teams. And just waiting for a pick, but there is some aggression coming in from Death. He wants to make something happen here. He's getting impatient.
Yeah, this is the problem. Like both teams, neither team has an advantage, and you don't want to attack unless you have an advantage, and that means no one's going to attack. You can like look at what PremTech did. They attacked, they lost, they rebound, they still held it. Oh, Maito went down. Okay, let's see. Oh, Death is weak as well. Demo is down for the defenders. Is that something they can push on? You gotta be careful though, because Atomic is also down, so they have a one-man advantage here, because they did lose Clark themselves. But there really isn't, you know.
They have lost a few players, but I mean, a demo scout and a spy pick isn't really something I would push up from last on a 5CP map. So, you know, one thing to mention though, GPS, we talked a lot about Hearts on King of the Hill on Viaduct. We've actually got Clark playing Soldier. Yeah. This is something I saw early in the season during the Warm Tick and Process games we saw. And Hearts played Warm Tick, but then 5CP, he was switched out and Clark came in to play Soldier. According to the team, when I've spoken to them, they feel that Clark is better on the 5CP maps. And Hearts is obviously good for those bombs on King of the Hill. Yeah. So seeing a different Soldier, and maybe all of that we talked about with the suiciding.
Yeah, sorry, I just thought.
Yeah, I was just going to say Blood Drunk gets snipes there. So that's a sniper pick, and that's something you could push on.
Let's see, Tracker here. They're moving in. Yep, here comes the Uber very early here, bringing the sniper in along. Oh, Tracker gets taken up by a long-range lock and load pike there.
Quell doing work, gets half cap time onto the point. But Maito and Tracker also go down in the process. And this is the time where, fair enough,
this could be a rebound Contra push. Nope. Well, he's going to shoot some rockets with some pot shots there. Oh, but the back cap!
Yeah, Atomic again. Nobody checking. They got aggressive. They went quickly on the time that they didn't need to, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like if they went at that speed when there was the previous Uber exchange, they would have capped second. This time they didn't get enough picks. They didn't get enough key picks to push out, and maybe they got a bit over-eager that time, feeling they wanted to get out from their last point. And Atomic, second time of asking, manages to get the back cap. So the first round does go to PremTech. Seeing another mid fight here.
Yeah. So your Death here doing some damage. Take a look here and see. Yep, there we go. Got the correct stats up. And oh, people are going to. Oh, a lot of players down for fair enough here.
CeeJaey is alive though, and as long as he stays alive with his pyro, they're going to have some chance of defending. Not even second point, no, because Maito is already here and he's stickied up this slide door. And yeah, this is great aggression from PremTech. They're all over the second point. They're going to get the cap down already. And yeah, we're back to the stalemate. Uber versus Uber on last.
Well, PremTech's up a point, so they can afford to be aggressive here. So I don't see any reason why they really shouldn't, because there's 1 point ahead, and they can just keep increasing that lead, or they can just park the bus and just hold here forever and just to kind of hope that fair enough will never be able to push out.
You do kind of run the risk though of a random pick coming out from the sniper or the spy or something like that. Yeah. Say the spy comes in and backstabs Nursey, dropping the Uber, then that kind of opens you up to getting pushed out, getting rolled, and conceding a point. But if they do get the picks, if they do get the kind of the moment to think, yes, we've got enough players, we've got enough picks. Mad Chunk there getting a snipe onto Maito. He tries to get into the lobby, and this is an aggressive hold coming out of Fair Enough. Death, Lex, and CeeJaey all in this lobby area. Kunai just hanging back a little bit more.
Maito's going to respawn. There he is. I guess the stab, and yeah, I guess the sap. Yep, that's a double death time for the demo, and yeah. Nice response here coming out of Fair Enough. They're just going to go because the other team doesn't have a demo. They simply have just more firepower. Depth really low. Managing to stay alive there. We're having some exchanges here.
Yeah, that Uber force coming in means that there's the Uber comes out and then is forced there by Kresnik. Death doesn't really want to have the Uber right now, but he's going to have to use to make the best of it. Kunai gets picked off in the process. So, kind of picks coming up from either side. 3 down for Fair Enough, but 2 coming back up in 2 seconds. Sniper Spy is in on the sniper. He has no idea. But his team do, and he gets picked off there while Jack. Well played by him to stay kind of unnoticed for so long. But again, there is a small Uber advantage in the hands of Nursey, about 20%. Which is getting smaller by the minute. Yeah. But yeah, aggressive! Nursey takes a pipe, and they look like they want to get aggressive here.
Oh, cheeky headshots there, going back and forth. Blood Drunk staying alive there.
I think Maito wants to push in. Sorry, they've come in now, and Kresnik is on the point. He gets destroyed, and Kresnik, I don't know, kind of taking note of none of the Uber just doesn't really work on this last point, and then so many players go down. Roger gets the headshot onto Nursey, and 3 players up for PremTech, and there is nobody on this second point other than Spy. Quell and Ubers are the only players stopping Fair Enough from capping, and Fair Enough aren't trying to cap.
Oh yeah, they need to be faster. They just need to get the presence on the point here, but Kunai taking too long actually. Not really going up there, because you can actually stand on the point and shoot at the same time. But I guess they're opting to have Kunai in the back there.
Oh, great headshot from Tracker. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but headshots
they didn't get the
out
cap
of the
either.
sky.
It was so close.
There is somebody on the last point. It is Cobbs. He battles, takes down the Spy, and it is yet again another back cap. I mean, you were talking about Kunai there. She's not playing the most mobile class. But the rest of the team, where are they? Why are they not coming in and getting on that point? Again, they're not quick enough on the push out, and maybe this is just the strategy from PremTech, pushing in, Ubering, forcing the other team's Uber, falling back out, waiting for the push from Fair Enough, baiting them, getting the picks, and then just walking in onto last. So 2-0 now to PremTech. We're on to another mid fight.
Yeah, watching the crystal count here.
Only pick coming down so far is onto Quell, but then Cobbs goes down again, goes down this time to Tonmas, and Ubers gets sniped by Blood Drunk. This is looking good for Fair Enough so far. They're not walking across the point, but they're in good. Nursey is surfing away, trying to survive. He manages to get an Uber on survive. What? Runs out of the choke, connects with the demo, and somehow PremTech.
CeeJaey got forced to by the Spy there. Polar did a great job of getting that forced, so giving Nursey a slight Uber advantage here, but now no one is capping. Middle point, there we go.
This is good aggression here from PremTech, but then Quell does get that crit flare onto Death, and that's going to stall them now. They just don't really have the aggression when Death isn't around. What's Nursey doing? Aggressive, trying to get an Uber saw onto people. He's got a big enough of an Uber advantage already. Doesn't really need any of those, but Maito is down, and he's a player that they want to push with. You know, main calling and kind of...
Oh, they're getting picked apart now. Atomic here in the front. I decides to just go for the cap. Oh, someone is back capping. Who's that?
They won't get it in time. This is a big stack, but Bloodtrunk gets a sniper to Kresnik. And the rest of the team, oh, the Soldier Clark comes in, takes Nursey down to 27, and Quell is just spamming around, trying to keep his medic alive. But they do manage to get this midpoint, and that's the aggression we see from PremTech that we have not seen from Fair Enough so far. That way of just getting the bodies forward. On both maps, it seems Fair Enough have just lacked that kind of killer instinct at times in order to just get forward and take the space that is given them. Big jump in from Maito, but the Uber has to be forced because he gets outwitted by a mini sentry. But Pix coming in, Mint goes down, and there is a back cap going on again, but I think they're going to get this Spire before the Mint's even close.
Uber coming in here, Kunai doing a lot of shooting, but no one's really down. Oh, you got Ubers! That's one pick, and they need to stand their ground and make sure a scout named Atomic doesn't kill the sniper and just ran past.
This is dangerous from Fair Enough. They need to get the cap. Look at Nursey! Look at Nursey! Nursey's just running around underneath the point. Nobody knows Nursey is there. Oh, doesn't manage to keep Kresnik alive. Might get picked off here, but no, nobody seems to be seeing Nursey at the moment. Reconnects with Ubers in the choke. Yeah, great evasiveness there from the PremTech medic. But now PremTech maybe getting a little bit sloppy. You know, we're seeing some kind of players doing solo stuff, and they are going to get this second cap, but a lot of players dying on their team.
Yeah, and I don't understand why Kunai gave up the point for just a soldier and a pyro, and Uber got forced.
Well, they haven't given up the point; they blocked it.
Yeah, they blocked
Uber did get forced, but yeah, that is a slither away from being capped.
Yeah, so let's see, where is the combo for PremTech, holding on to the middle point here. Fair Enough just needs to step up their game because they're already down 2 points, so PremTech is feeling pretty comfortable right now. Bloodtrunk with a crazy headshot there, and then Tracker with a not so crazy headshot, but killed Bloodtrunk nonetheless.
Yeah, Nursey with the 100% Uber. CeeJaey isn't even spawning until 5 seconds. No sniper to contend with, so they don't even have to use this Uber. Maito does take a pipe though. He's going to just calmly walk up here, spam off this shutter area.
They're looking to just take it there. Let's see, what does Fair Enough do? Did they give up this area, or did they stay and fight? Looks like they're giving up the one shot.
Death's getting aggressive though. He's trying to spam down, but can't take down the sniper or the medic.
Yeah, nice surf there by CeeJaey. Yeah, look, they're just waltzing right in here. Of course, oh, here comes the Uber, and the Defenders does not have an Uber yet. This is going to be hard to stop unless we get some amazing pyro action here. And speaking of the pyro, blocks him off the point there. Buys his team a lot of time, and a lot of Reds dying here. Mini sentry going up, but oh, Engineer on the point gets taken out. This is close. Medic with the Uber. Oh, there's a scout left.
Oh, and then he walks off the point. Yeah. Oh, Polar then just manages to walk on. Amazing play there by Nursey. Amazing Ubersaur skills. And wow, I was just going to rant about how, rant and rave about how good Lex was there, staying alive and just pushing everyone off the point, allowing his team to kind of follow up with the damage. But Nursey then just going insanely good. Aggressiveness here coming from the right side this time. From Death, wants to get in the faces. And Fair Enough are on this right hand side area. If they get caught here, they're going to get spammed out. And it's not looking good, they're not moving forward.
Ooh, Tracker with
PremTech.
Kunai.
Yeah, Kunai was stuck around, and then CeeJaey goes down to Atomic. You get caught around that area behind the hut area, which is called Tetris by some people. You're going to get picked off. Although PremTech have lost most of their players.
Yeah, they
Uber is forced as well, so...
They're now also only 8 players. Something happened
Yeah,
there.
Uber's is timed out.
But they're still going, they did not opt to pause. He's coming back in pretty soon.
Yeah, he's back in pretty much straight away. Probably about the same length as his respawn time, to be fair. Yeah. But it looks like Fair Enough may actually win this mid-fight after a very, very long mid-fight. Nearly a minute. And Tracker gets another snipe onto Bloodtrunk, is dominating him now.
Yeah.
But other than that, not many picks on either side, and this could turn into a little bit of a stalemate, except for Mighty's got a different thing in mind. Gets air blasted by Lex and then just gets destroyed by Tonmas. But good idea there from the finished demo, just trying to go in and make something happen.
They can keep moving forward though. There really isn't anything stopping them. I mean, the sniper's not scoped in, and they opted to go the long route. They should have scouted that, I think, because they didn't see the positioning. They just assumed. And it's going to be tough going around this corner here with the red pyro Quell here. Doing a lot of damage, but they do have an Uber. They are coming in, forced into another Uber here. Lex doing some work as well. Oh, looks like the red Uber is fading first, and Kunai backed out of there. That was kind of a mistake, I guess. But oh, with the backstab on Maito from Wildjack. Here comes the rebound, and Kunai finally takes down the other heavy here. Will she stay alive? Yep, thanks to a backstab. Took him out, and they just need to get on this point now and get those forward spawns.
Yeah, this is kind of a bit dangerous at the moment. We've still got Cobbs, though. He gets taken down by Clark. Well played there by the soldier. So yeah, fair enough, should be getting off, but wow, the headshot from Tracker takes down Death, and that leaves CeeJaey alone. And then he gets taken down by Atomic as well. The Scout going on a bit of a spree there, but it was these awkward moments where fair enough are kind of caught in a catch-22 situation. Do they back off and concede that the push hasn't worked, or do they try and stay in and make something happen? And maybe, you know, the odd shot here and there, it could have worked, but it didn't work out. CeeJaey just respawned, but Nursey's at 80% already on his minigun, and
sorry, they're just the Tracker there with a kill on Blood Drunk as well as a kill on Kunai. Some key picks, that's gone. Oh, he's on fire. He has to back out of there. Clark getting taken out by Atomic. They seem to be kind of falling apart here as kind of pusher. Oh, but Death with the lock and load.
Philjack so desperately tried to. It's just that Uber used onto Atomic, which isn't a bad person to Uber.
No, absolutely
trying
not.
Desperately to take down Lex, but can't manage to do it. Just great air blasting there from the pyro. And then he gets body shot by Blood Drunk, and the cap doesn't actually go down for PremTech. Yeah. Polar's the only person left alive on it, but surely he's going to be pushed off.
Oh, as Clark pummels Nursey and takes down the medic. Excellent play there, and let's see what more he can do before he gets taken out. Yep, not much, but he did get one rocket off. Let's see if they decide to be more aggressive. Now, they can do that because the enemy teams are weak and they don't even have a medic, so you can get in there. Where is Tracker? Yeah, Tracker's not. Oh, Blood Drunk takes out Tracker. Oh, yeah, now they can just run out. Gotta be careful, though. Look out for Polar. Getting the cap. Oh, this is looking good for fair enough. What do you think, CeeJaey?
This is looking positive. I need to convert this into a round. It still is just 3-0, and the Ubers are really, really early. And look at Krisnik! Krisnik's on the lock, and nobody's seen him! He takes down Kunai! He's going to take down the sniper as well! Is he going to take down the scout? No, Thomas finishes him off, but he took down 2 players, and nobody looked into the lockers. Oh,
not sure how he got up
I wanted to see how Krisnik played, and I've just seen an example of the roaming heavy again.
Yeah, he was even spun up, and they didn't hear him. So I'm guessing their comms must be really loud, and that really hurt them there, because, wow, Krisnik going solo, bringing back the game.
Yeah. That was surely going to be converted into a round there, but fair enough. Uber versus non-Uber. PremTech now have pushed out, and this is what you want to see. Lots of people pushing out in a group, checking all of the exits, piling onto the point, so you get ×5 or more onto the point, caps it really, really quickly. But Maito and Nursey are down. These are 2 huge players for PremTech in their combo. If they're down, they're not going to really be pushing anymore. But 4 players alive, so fair enough, they could get caught out here. CeeJaey's in a very, very dangerous position.
Yeah, he is. Here comes the spot. Kunai! Oh! Kunai gets taken out and dominated by Polar. Ouch! That's gotta really hurt, because, you know, she did see him, so should have known he was there.
CeeJaey does have 100% Uber now, so it's in the hands of fair enough if they want to push with this. Nursey's at 50%, and you don't really want to wait around for Nursey to get the Uber.
Absolutely not. They need to go with this and then get as much as they can. Get a lot of ground, but let's see what they do. They only have the demo and the pyro, and oh well, they kind of just have to go with it now. So
yeah, they take down the pyro, which is, you know, a decent pick enough, but it's not huge. A flash of the Uber there goes onto Polar, who then uses his dead ringer to slowly get out of sight. But
Yeah.
that Uber achieved nothing really. You either wanted to take down the medic or you wanted to gain some ground, and they just kind of got a kill and nothing else happened.
Do they know this? Because this could be fatal if it hits fair enough by surprise. Let's see, they do have the heavy with Kresnik. I'm not sure how good he is with laser beams. Maito is just respawning. Here comes the... Oh! Here comes the laser beams. Takes on... Oh, gets taken out by death. That's good news. Only on a pyro. Neither team has Uber at the moment.
The spy is in on the combo. Oh!
Gets stabbed.
Well, with the reflex takes down Clark. Yeah, Polar getting a stab onto his fellow spy. But yeah, now we're just kind of seeing this messy back and forth, rotating around the midpoint. People dying on either side.
Yeah,
Maito going down for PremTech, but...
Seems like fair enough is a bit more comfortable being low on numbers. As I say that, most of their team is dead. But you just got to keep the fight going and keep the enemy numbers down. Don't allow them to, you know, fully assemble. So now we're going to have what looks like a similar push than last time. We just have a medic CeeJaey along with Death and really no one else backing up. So we will see how they decide to do this. Well, they got Kunai with them and not the engineer. He went back to do something. All right, here they come. Oh, but
the crits comes out.
Oh,
wow.
Ouch. Yeah, that's all alone. Takes down the heavy. But the flash there didn't last long enough for Kunai and did get taken out.
Yeah, I mean, again, players dying on either side. Nursey goes down to a body shot from Blood-Drunk, which now this is fair enough. It's time to move forward. They need to get picks. Tracker is only on 1 HP. Surely he can't stay in the fight for much longer. But as he does, he takes down Blood-Drunk. Gets finished off there by Lex. But fair enough, they need to start moving forward if they've got any chance of getting around in this game and getting something out of it. They need to start getting a bit more aggressive and move in.
Yeah, they need to go in and occupy space, basically, because they're giving up a lot of space here. I'd say just move forward until the red team makes you so you can't move forward. And right now they're taking the Spire. There's not a whole lot of red to stop them here. Kunai is doing a lot of damage. They already have, you know, the flanking classes forward. Clark is going to go, not going to go down low. He's just going to keep this area clean. And yeah, here we go. Looks like PremTech is going to hold a bit differently. They're holding really far back here. Uber coming in. This might be what they were looking for here. They got Kunai in the back. They just need people on the point. You just need to cap it. You do not need to kill them. Just stand on the point. Here's Mint. He's on the point. Oh, Kunai's doing so much damage. And there you go, a round for fair.
That was really well played there by Fair Enough. I disagree with what you're saying. You didn't go for the point, you get the kills. And they did the under push with the scout. Tonmas going in, getting in a lot of damage, getting some kills. Kunai following up and getting her own set of kills.
Yeah.
And once they'd done that, they just collapsed onto the rest of PremTech, got the necessary kills, got cap time, forced them to go onto the point, and then you just spam them out. And lots of aggression here coming out from Death now. Backs away a little bit now as he's down to 64 HP, but big jump in from Clark. He's only on the medic. Gets one, gets two, doesn't manage to take down Nursey. But Maito goes down in all amongst the chaos, and PremTech backing out here and looking a little bit shaky.
Well, Ubers is still alive here. He did get the demo. Oh, the meg's exposed. Oh, takes down CeeJaey. Doesn't even have the Uber yet. And the scout Tonmas. Oh, he has 1 health. And the Uber stays alive thanks to the black box.
Yeah, PremTech are going to lose this midpoint. Well played by Fair Enough to cap it, but they do lose their mid in the process, and they do lose the Uber advantage, which means Nursey's going to be starting coming through this flowers area now.
Yeah,
Only got a Pyro and a Scout for company, and they do use it onto Atomic.
Yeah, I mean, he just took whatever was available and just went with it. And what happened was that they were able to gain a lot of ground, and now they're able to get the cap. They didn't necessarily rely on Death. It seems like PremTech is a bit more dynamic that way, in the way they spend their Ubers, which Fair Enough isn't. They seem to be very reliant on that heavy demo combo. So as long as you kill one of them, they're going to have a hard time pushing here. So they do cap mid. See how Fair Enough deals with this.
Tracker and Kunai winning their class battles there, Heavy and Sniper, and players are dying all over the place. And it still seems that PremTech are going to keep control of this midpoint. Despite only having a few players left alive. Nursey at 50-60%
CeeJaey
on the ooh. If they can surprise them, there's still a chance here.
Yeah, he needs to build though and not shoot candy at the enemy. not sure what he's doing. Needs to heal. Nursey's gonna have full Uber soon. Oh, Nursey, 68 health. Hiding in the corner. Are we gonna see any bombs?
2 minutes 30 left in the map now, and well, it's 3-1. We need a cap here from Fair Enough, and then a bit of a roll in the last round. But the Uber's used really early from PremTech. Big jump in from Mitre, gets behind him. Great play by him. He's just shutting off the escape routes. Gets the sticky onto Bloodrock. He has no idea where he's getting attacked from. And players are dying from Fair Enough.
Comes the crits.
He gets a direct onto Kresnik, but he doesn't die. Finally dies to Lex. And Fair Enough going to start walking backwards. They can't really push out here, even though they have to. But this is starting to look more and more like PremTech are going to edge this map. Just like they edged Viaduct. This is a map where you can whittle down the time much better. You can just wait, you can park the bus, Tracker getting the headshot onto Blooddrunk. And yeah, we're just seeing stalemate and DM now. I think Fair Enough knows realistically the game is over. I think PremTech know realistically the 6 points are in the bag for them. And now it's probably thinking onto next week.
Yeah, probably. So we did see a lot of, like, this is like the uncertainty of 5 CPs that players don't necessarily know how to play it correctly, because they don't get the information they need, right? So they make decision based on not 100% correct information, I guess, in terms of enemy positioning and timings and stuff like that. But I do think PremTech was better at that. They made more of their Ubers than Fair Enough did, even when they didn't have like the same amount of power classes available. Do you agree with that assessment?
I agree that, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just kind of Fair Enough have the players. They're just not using the players in the right way, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when they're aggressive, like we saw on Viaduct, they managed to get across, they managed to get their forward holds. They can translate this into a map like this. And again, you know, pushing up from last, we saw 2 back caps. And those, you know, we've seen the Uber come out from PremTech now onto the Spy and onto the Scout. But yeah, I mean, Fair Enough. If they pushed out quickly after the first push, then they could have capped second and moved on to mid. Whereas they waited for the wrong times when we didn't have the numbers, they didn't check all the exits, got back capped. And when you find yourself 2-0 down on a map like this, like I said at the start, you can't throw away easy rounds on a 5 CP map. It's possible to just grind away the time until, you know, you've not got much time left, and it puts you in a position where it's pretty much impossible for you to win.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big blow to Fair Enough's playoff hopes. They still have one map left, one match left to play, and they do play Season 6 champions Highlander on Steel. Meanwhile, PremTech will move on and play Chess Club on Steel as well.
Yeah.
So the top 4 playing each other, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think anything's decided, because news coming in GPS from the other game, 3-1 to Chess Club, meaning they do take Viaduct. So the points are split there 3-3 between Chess Club and Wasp. Chess Club dropping 3 points to Wasp. 3 points that they would have probably thought they were pretty comfortable in keeping. So I do think it's still possible for all 4 teams to make the playoffs. Haven't looked at the table. It won't be updated yet, but I haven't quite worked it out. But I imagine if Fair Enough beat Highlander in their last game, and PremTech Chess Club game, depending on what happens in that, still all 4 teams could qualify. But it's about these teams kind of picking themselves up, and you know, Steel, man, we all know what Steel plays like.
Yeah. Whenever I hear Steel, I just think Huntsman on defense. That's the only thing I care about.
Chaos, I think.
I have to say, well played by Fair Enough. They did pretty well, and they did something that's very common if you lose to a team, and that is to continue to lose to a team. Speaking of, you know, mind games and stuff, once a team starts winning, it's easy to just continue winning. And I think like they were good at bluffing, because sometimes Fair Enough actually had a window where they could potentially have taken a lot of ground, but I guess they were just afraid that, oh yeah, they're hiding here or something. And one time Kresnik did that, you know. So yeah, well played. I have to hand it to Kresnik there for that sneaky heavy play.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see how he would play on this map, and he didn't disappoint. But overall, as a team, I just think PremTech, their teamwork shone through in
Yeah,
the end because this is definitely a match where if Fair Enough turned up and played the best that they can, then they could have taken the 6 points as well.
yeah,
This was by no means a roll, and we saw that on Viaduct how close it was. Um, and Fair Enough kind of have this hoodoo over them since about season 5 playing in Prem that they haven't beaten the top teams. Look at the likes of, over the years, It's All Good, Killswitch, and more recent memory, Highlander, Chess Club, PremTech. They've never beaten a team that's been regarded as one of the playoff teams. So they're going to have to break that duck and do something against Highlander in order to make the playoffs. But maybe it's like a mental thing with them as well, knowing that they're playing against our difficult team.
yeah.
They start to play slightly differently. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely something to that. It's always part about bluffing. If you're winning, you can bluff better. It's like, oh yeah, we totally have a lot of guys here, and it's just one guy, you know. But yeah, I have to say, well played. It was a good match and a good cast. Always a pleasure to cast with you, CeeJaey. So yeah, any last words before we close off?
Shout out to Saloon.tf for giving us the betting, the ability to bet on TF2 games. Please check it out. It's definitely bringing more viewers and bringing more excitement to the games as well. Shout out to TF2Pickup.net, the sponsors of Fair Enough. Also Whitelist.tf, also another sponsor of them. Definitely check out those websites for competitive TF2 stuff. And shout out to my team. Shout out to all my friends. Thanks for the support, and thank you to you for casting with me today.
Yeah, shout out to your bud.